Alright, so here's what I got. Strange encounter. The moral of the story, I'm going to give you the punchline right away, is you need to appreciate what you have. You need to embrace your immortality. Okay? And don't chase after ideals that are unrealistic and, frankly, quite shallow. Here's what happened. We're in Vermont, okay? This is about 10 years or so ago. I go to a marathon training camp, okay? And I believe that I'm a pretty sporty person, and I'm looking for my sporty spice, okay? I have an ideal. I want this girl to be like, everyone has their ideals, right? I want her to be kind of athletic and sporty, and I fashion myself as very sporty, maybe a sporty spice myself also. And then I also have a very, very shallow ideal, this was 10 years ago, mind you, before I was older and wiser, etc., that I really like. I like comic books a lot. And if you read some comic books, Marvel comics, every third character is this like amazingly gorgeous redhead. So I'm thinking to myself, I really want a girl with red hair who's very athletic. Very, very shallow, I know. But I learned a hard lesson at the end, so don't worry. It all balances out. So I go up to Vermont, and what do I run into but this really beautiful girl with red hair? And we don't strike up a conversation. I almost literally run into her around the corner and ask her, where do I sign in for the freaking camp? So I go over and sign in. But as fate would have it, kindly yet somewhat cruelly as well, I have a chance of meeting with her the next evening. She's actually in rowing, I'm in running. What happens is this. There's a guy in the running camp who's about 60-something. He's, I don't say lecherous, but he kind of goes after people a few generations younger than him. And he's in running. And what happens is that he's going after this girl, so to speak, who I can have my own as well. I'm sitting on a table kind of far removed, and sometimes the best way to meet somebody is to do kind of like a peanut gallery job where you're like sitting off to the side and you hear the conversation, you're like, oh, I couldn't help it over here, but here's my input, whether you like it or not. So, guys give a girl better career opportunities in her early 20s, because girls in her early 20s, I'm in my early 20s around then. So then I interpolate, and I have a little bit of teaching experience. She wants to be a teacher. So I say, you know, I have some teaching experience from over the grassy knoll of the peanut gallery. And then she's more than happy to start talking to me. It's wonderful, you know. I'm like, as a last storyteller was like, oh, like that's me too. I think you're me. Okay, thank you. But in any case, this was a good story. I hope mine's good as well. But in any case, thank you. Well, in any case, I'm digressing. Anyway, I hit it off well with this girl. It seems to be going well. She's like, oh, I'm so happy I met you. I would love to talk to you about all of this. And I'm thinking this is going so well, but I find out the next day it's just one of these fickle people jobs. And girls do this to guys, guys do this to girls. Like one day a person's like, oh, I'm so glad I met you. I'd love to talk to you about this. Pleased to become my Wuthering Heights, Heathcliff, and Catherine, eternal gravesite companion for all time. And then the next day you see that person, you're like, who the fuck are you? Kind of get that vibe. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen this. You've lived this. No. So the next day, sure enough, I'm going to this cafeteria and I see her, and she's sitting with other rowers. And these people are like Robert Pattinson on steroids, Taylor Lautner without steroids, ambulatory Washington monuments of people. And she's sitting with these people, and they're talking about jobs again. Something about jobs, I don't know what it is. But what happens is that I tried to do the peanut gallery thing again with these huge jocks. And I'm like, about jobs. I forget what I said, it was a long time ago. And this time, though, instead, she's just right? Because, like, I'm not, like, this big rower and stuff like that. So it's kind of crestfallen. The culminating event, which is really the strange encounter, is this. There's a 5K race. I enter as a runner. She's a rower. I assume, as everyone makes faulty assumptions from time to time, I'm going to do slightly better than her because I'm a runner and she's a rower. Such is not the case. She's fifth to last in the race. Guess who's fourth to last? Not on purpose, mind you. Okay? It's going to go a little long, but that's okay. I'm fourth to last, just doing my best. Following her, she's running with another Washington Monument, ambulatory Washington Monument in motion. I'm doing all I can to catch up. It's horrible. I start to think this is kind of metaphorical, though. You know, here I am chasing after this girl. It's this trail run. I'm constantly rolling on my heels. It's awful. It's twisted turns trail run. I'm falling over, sometimes cursing and stuff, whatever. Behind me, okay, third to last, is this old guy. He must be like 80-something. He's like a jock. Excuse me. And then, like, behind him, well, I'll get to behind him in a second, but I'm thinking to myself, you know, maybe this is metaphorical. Maybe I'm chasing after this shallow, like, she's a good girl, but, like, maybe it's just, I'm thinking for the wrong reasons. Now, like, I'm chasing the shallow ideal, like red hair, etc. I shouldn't be chasing this. It's metaphorical, you know? And then behind me, I'm thinking perhaps he might represent, like, my mortality, because he was constantly over my shoulder. Maybe he was, like, death itself. Behind him were these, like, two, like, blonde girls that were, like, walking and talking, didn't give a fuck about the race. I think they were supposed to represent, like, the apathy of the cosmos or something. So, in any case, the guy helped me get through the race. It was great. The old guy. He was guiding me because I was that slow, and he was that slow. He caught up with me. And it occurred to me, after the race ended, it occurred to me, I ended up fourth to last. And, the other people, he was third to last, the girls were second, first to last. And then I think the girl I'd like was fifth to last. But here's the deal, right? The strange encounter, moral of the story. There are twisted turns through life, like that path in the race. I'm going to fall down sometimes like I rolled on my ankle. You chase after these unrealistic ideals, these unattainable ideals, you'll never catch it. You should embrace your mortality, as I did. The old man helped me get through the race. And the last part about the girls in the back, I don't know what that's about still to this day. I suppose that if I, relax enough, I can interact with the cosmos and find success that way. I don't know. I still have to figure that part out, though. All right, thank you.